she's behaved appallingly by not telling the palace what she's going to do. And I think the most interesting story is the Reitman story. Reitman's is like a Marks and Spencer's in Canada.
In a Newsweek article that looked at this very same question, it looked at what her sister, Samantha Markle, has said. Samantha has called out many of her lies. And about her age, who knows? Sometimes you want to play older when you're younger. But yes, this was a mistake, and it was not picked up before publication, and that has prompted many people to then run with this and say it's true. It's not true, guys. It's not true. All
19. They say age is just a number, right? But when it comes to Meghan Markle, that number has suddenly turned into the biggest royal mystery since the infamous Who Made Who Cry bridesmaid drama. And trust me, this time it's not about tiaras, tantrums, or tears. It's about something way more shocking. Her age. Oh, you thought Meghan's biggest secret was walking away from the palace? Oh, sweetheart, think again. Enter Tom Bower, the relentless royal bloodhound who can sniff scandal from a mile away. The man who's turned exposing royal truths into a full-time sport has just stumbled on something even the palace courtiers didn't dare whisper about. And Meghan? She might be wishing this story stayed buried forever. Just when everyone thought Meghan's past was locked away under the palace marble, Bower decided to dig again, and what he found might just be the kind of revelation that shakes even Buckingham's chandeliers.
80 strong cast and crew who tell this story about a woman who is, after all, only paid $15,000 a day, peanuts for a star, to advertise the...
Picture this. Somewhere in the dusty archives of 17 magazine, a 1,997 issue suddenly explodes online. A tiny feature buried inside catches the internet's attention. There it is, Meghan Markle, age 21. Nothing strange at first until you realize that, according to every official record, Meghan was supposed to be 15 that year. Wait, what? Either 17 magazine had a time traveler on its editorial team, or someone's math just isn't mathing. 6 whole years missing?
A pair, both. And she behaves appallingly, and they all loathe her at the end. And she...
That's not a typo, that's a scandal wrapped in a mystery and sprinkled with popcorn. And of course, royal fans did what they do best, lose their collective minds. TikTok detectives, Reddit sleuths, Twitter theorists, everyone suddenly became a self-appointed investigator. Was Meghan lying about her age? Was this part of a bigger Hollywood reinvention? Is she secretly older than we think? But Tom Bower didn't laugh this off as an innocent mistake. Oh no, he called it a revelation that changes everything. Because when a single magazine line from the 90 seconds can throw her whole life story into chaos, it makes you wonder what else has been rewritten in the Duchess's carefully curated fairy tale. And judging by Meghan's deafening silence, let's just say the Duchess of Sussex might be wishing that old 17 issue had stayed buried 6 feet under. Let's rewind to 1997.
out there for a while. It's been floating around. Royal fans are convinced Meghan Markle is lying about her age. In fact, they think she's older. And
the Spice Girls ruled the world, internet dial-up was destroying everyone's patience, and teenage girls everywhere were flipping through 17 magazine, the holy grail of youth and dreams. Now, imagine one of those glossy pages featuring a young woman named Meghan Markle with the caption, age 21. At first glance, harmless. But 25 years later, that tiny number would stop hearts faster than a royal scandal headline, because according to her royal biography, Meghan was born in 1981, which means she should have been 15 inches 1,997, not 21. So, where did those 6 extra years magically appear from? Did she time travel? Or was someone quietly rewriting her Hollywood narrative before it even began? Tom Bower, ever the skeptic, said it wasn't just a typo, it was a clue. The first little crack in a very polished public image. And when Bower hints that something doesn't add up, you can bet he's holding more than receipts. He even admitted, that's why I wrote the book, because what she's doing to Britain is dreadful. Dramatic? Maybe. But this is Tom Bower, the man doesn't do mild. Now, here's the twist. 17 magazine may be long forgotten, but the internet never forgets.
You buy into her thing that she had no idea what she's really getting into?
Oh, on the contrary, I think she's a very scheming, very clever woman. No, I think that the surprising thing at the end of the book, I realized
those archives were quietly sitting for decades, waiting for the right gossip hunter to blow off the dust. When royal watchers caught wind of it, chaos exploded. Social media turned into a forensic crime lab. People dug up old school photos, drama class pictures, graduation programs, anything that could connect dots. Fans started joking that Meghan was aging backward like Benjamin Button or forward like a time-traveling PR experiment. But this wasn't just online chaos. It hit home literally because Meghan's father, Thomas Markle, wasn't laughing. The man who raised her, took her to school, and watched her chase her Hollywood dreams suddenly had questions of his own. And if anyone would know her real timeline, it's him. According to Bauer's findings, even Thomas quietly admitted that a few dates don't line up.
Here was a woman who was nothing. I mean, born, broken family, the whole thing, unknown actress, all the rest of it, becomes a global star, which is what she wanted.
He remembers the acting lessons, the graduation years, the early auditions, but when he compares those memories to the version Meghan's team sells publicly, it's like two different movies playing at once with mismatched subtitles. He recalls her first little performances, her first taste of showbiz, her growing passion, but the dates, they don't match the official script. And Thomas isn't angry, he's baffled. It's that quiet, heartbreaking disbelief only a parent can have when the story doesn't match the memories. He's not attacking her, he's confused, maybe even hurt. Meanwhile, Bauer is connecting dots like it's a royal crime board, and his conclusion? If her own father's timeline doesn't match the public record, then what's real anymore? Thomas Markle's words echoed louder than any royal PR statement. He wasn't plotting revenge, he was just holding up a mirror to the timeline his daughter built. If even her father's memories clash with the record, Tom Bauer whispered in one interview, then the fairy tale might not be as picture perfect as it seems. And honestly, he might be right. Tom Bauer isn't your everyday royal commentator. He is the guy who walks into a story with a magnifying glass instead of a teacup. Where others whisper, he investigates. And when he caught wind of that odd 1,997 magazine entry, he didn't shrug, he pounced. He pulled old archives, double-checked interviews, compared official biographies to long-forgotten Hollywood mentions, and every trail kept circling back to the same red flag: Meghan Markle, age 21. He couldn't believe it. According to her official birth year, 1981, she would have been just 15. That's not a typo, that's an entire life chapter gone missing. Bauer called it one of the strangest inconsistencies he'd ever seen, and coming from a man who's lived knee-deep in royal feuds, that's saying something. He lined up childhood photos, school records, even fragments of interviews with Meghan's father, and every piece of the puzzle told the same story. The dates collided instead of connecting. It was almost as if someone had gone back and quietly edited her past, polishing it to make her look fresher, younger, more Hollywood ready. And if you know Bauer, you know he won't rest until every dusty document and faded yearbook is dragged back into the daylight. If Meghan thought her royal titles could keep the truth behind palace walls, she was mistaken. The truth, as Tom Bauer proved, doesn't need a crown to shine. Now, here's where things get truly wild. Imagine the California Birth Index, the database of every official birth record from the state, becoming the star witness in a royal scandal. People began cross-checking dates, names, even parental records. The internet practically turned into a courtroom. Bauer laid it all out like a detective, pinning evidence on a wall. Timeline 1. Meghan Markle, born the 4th of August, 1981, Los Angeles. That's the version plastered across royal websites and celebrity bios. By that math, she's 44 inches, 2025, everything neat and tidy. Timeline 2. 17 Magazine, March 1997, Meghan Markle, age 21. If that number's true, she would have been born around 1975 or 1976, which makes her closer to 50 today. That's not a rounding error, that's a full decade of mystery. Hollywood might call that range. The rest of us call it rewriting history. Fans were stunned. Wait, one royal blogger tweeted, does that mean she was auditioning in her 30 seconds pretending to then be in her 20 seconds? Another joked, no wonder she played lawyer so well, she's been defending herself since the 90 seconds. And then came the comparisons. Side by side, timelines flooded the internet. On one side, the palace's polished PR narrative, on the other, the rogue 17 entry. Suddenly, that charming underdog story of a hardworking young actress looked more like a professional rebrand. Because in Hollywood, 6 years can be the difference between fresh new face and aging out of the role. And Bauer, he wasn't done stirring the pot. He started linking this age mystery to Meghan's entire Hollywood journey, her auditions, her early modeling gigs, even her graduation from Northwestern University. She had always said she graduated in 2003 at age 22. But if that 17 record is right, she would have been 27. That's not late graduation, that's rewriting your 20s entirely. To some, it seemed like an industry strategy. To others, it was a deception. But either way, it worked. Meghan rose through the Hollywood ranks, reinvented herself, and eventually reinvented royalty itself. And then, right as this storm brewed, royal watchers turned their gaze back to the palace. Because, you know what, they were all thinking, did the royals know? Did Harry know? Or did everyone just read from a carefully edited script that forgot to update the dates? Social media was ruthless. TikTok turned into a full-scale investigation board with red strings connecting every year of Meghan's life. People dug out old Suits interviews, magazine spreads, even fan photos from the early 2000s. Does she look 23 here? One video demanded. Be honest. Theories multiplied faster than palace press statements. Some insisted Meghan had nothing to hide, that she'd been the victim of yet another witch hunt. Others were convinced the age confusion was proof of a manufactured persona. But what made it worse? Meghan's silence. She didn't issue a statement, didn't post, didn't correct, just that tight, royal smile, the same one she used when Oprah asked those impossible questions. And that silence, oh, it spoke volumes. In the digital age, not replying is like pouring gasoline on a fire. Every minute she stayed quiet, the story grew louder. The tabloids called it Meghan-gate. Twitter called it Age-gate. The internet called it a spectacle. Meanwhile, behind palace walls, insiders whispered that even Prince William raised an eyebrow over tea. Selective transparency, he reportedly muttered. Because the royals have survived centuries of scandal, but a birthday blunder, that's new. And the irony? For a family obsessed with timelines and traditions, Meghan's missing 6 years might have been the biggest royal math problem of all. Insiders claim frantic emails flew across royal aides' inboxes. Could this affect the monarchy's image? Would it reignite old Meghan versus Palace drama? Because just when they thought they'd seen every headline, Netflix deals, Spotify cancellations, Oprah tears, this age revelation gave the press a brand new buffet. And Tom Bauer? He watched it all unfold with the satisfaction of a man who'd just proven his point. He didn't need palace approval or royal titles, just one dusty magazine and a lot of patience. The fallout online was deliciously chaotic. Some fans joked that maybe Meghan just wanted to say Forever 21, literally. Others defended her fiercely, saying every woman in Hollywood shaves a few years off. She's just smart, they said. That's survival. But to critics, it was a pattern, a symptom of a bigger issue. The same woman who built her brand on authenticity and truth was now accused of editing her own story. And when your entire empire is built on being real, even the smallest inconsistency hits differently. Suddenly, the fairy tale of the fresh, young American actress who married a prince started to sound like a well-rehearsed script. Tom Bauer didn't just question her age, he questioned her origin story. And when Tom Bauer digs, publicists lose sleep. He tore through archives, compared public statements, and laid out his case like a prosecutor on live TV. This isn't coincidence, he said. It's calculation. Royal watchers gasped. Hollywood insiders grinned knowingly. And Meghan? She stayed quiet, at least publicly. But according to whispers behind the Montecito gates, she was furious. That 1,997 magazine issue was supposed to be forgotten, buried under decades of fame and philanthropy. Instead, it became her worst nightmare. Online memes flooded every platform. Breaking, Archwell deletes 6 years, joked one. Another posted a mock royal decree. Henceforth, Meghan's official age shall be whatever she says it is. It was ruthless but impossible to look away from. Even late-night hosts joined the circus, making cheeky references about time-traveling duchesses and the Benjamin Button of Buckingham. And through it all, Tom Bauer kept smiling that smug little smile that says, "I told you so." Because really, he had. By now, the debate wasn't about math, it was about trust. If Meghan could tweak her age for a magazine, what else had been adjusted for the cameras? The world that once saw her as a symbol of modern royalty was now split. Half defended her, half dissected her, and both sides couldn't stop watching. Bauer's investigation wasn't just a tabloid storm, it was a mirror. It showed how obsessed we've all become with image, youth, and the illusion of perfection. Maybe Meghan wasn't lying, maybe she was just playing the game. But when you're part of the most scrutinized family on earth, even the smallest secret becomes a global scandal. And that's why, as the dust settled, one thing was crystal clear. Meghan Markle's tears weren't just about an old magazine. They were about losing control of the narrative she'd spent years crafting. Because once Tom Bauer opened that box, there was no closing.